Now, the war on X is heating up and just continues to go nowhere. So we've got two stories in one here. We have advertisers coming back to X, and we have a bunch of people signing up for Bluesky. So last week, Bluesky celebrated adding 700,000 users, or 2 weeks ago. So brings their total user base to somewhere around 13 to 16 million, depending upon what source you look at. I think it's supposed to be 15, but so that's part one of the story. Then part two is some big name advertisers are coming back to X. We've got Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery, IBM, and Lionsgate all coming back. And so we're in this weird space where we have three versions of X, right? We have X, which is like the actual town square where everyone gets a microphone, chaotic but open to all. Then we have Bluesky, that's like the VIP lounge where if you agree with what they agree with, then you can get in, kind of like the old version of X or Twitter. And then you've got Threads, where it's just a party and don't you dare talk about anything political or of substance. It's just supposed to be a good time, which is totally fine. But the reality is both of these platforms, Threads and Bluesky, are growing in user base and popularity, not because of the features, not because they offer something different or better. They simply aren't X. So when your unique selling proposition is we're not X, you're probably not going to go too far in terms of a wide user base. And so the bottom line here for us as creators is we have to look at these platforms for what they provide us in terms of audience growth and revenue growth. Now, Bluesky keeps saying we're an X alternative, but really it's just turning into a safe space for people who don't want to hear people who disagree with them on X. And when it comes to Threads, well, if you're doing Instagram and you're good to go on Instagram, then you probably don't need to add Threads to the mix either. And so I'm seeing X is still, of the three, the most reliable when it comes to a larger reach. I know I've seen some comments in the past of people who have found some of the algorithm changes to actually hurt their reach and content. But when it comes to which one of these three, Threads, X, and Bluesky, is actually going to be viable long-term, X is still the winner right now, especially because they actually have a creator fund. They actually do pay creators. Bluesky is never going to be able to get to that level because before the mass political exodus from X, the people who are using Bluesky are very anti-ad. So you can't do a 180 and start inundating a platform that was anti-ad, anti-big corporate establishment, and then expect to throw a bunch of ads on it so you can pay the people who are there. It's just not going to work out. And let's face it, Meta knows that they do not have to pay creators for content. We all come to Meta and Instagram because they already have the audience locked in. So they're definitely not going to add to any sort of creator fund either. And so for me personally, we're still going to pursue X out of the three. And just also from a ideological perspective, I'm going to try and support platforms that actually allow all sorts of speech, even if I don't agree with it.